Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, let me open up that chat. How's everybody doing on this Friday? I'm going to get the link and share it in a few places like I'd be doing. And we're going to talk about a lot of things. I have a lot of things I want to tell you guys about. I'm going to tell you about 2 Twitch streams. One from Monday, the Jam Exam, which covered Carnival of Carnage. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Esham and his relationship with the Insane Clown Posse, which is something I've wanted to go into a little bit on here for a while. I've touched on it a little bit, but we're going to talk about it a little bit here. I posted a clip on my YouTube of Esham on the Jam Exam stream that I thought was really interesting. So go and check that out. April Fools is nearing completion. My new EP with Shaggy the Airhead is nearing completion. April Fools coming out someday. You might can figure out what day. Alright, let me post on a Facebook. Live now on YouTube. Link is in the comments if you would like to watch. Okay. Put that in there. And put it in the Discord in a couple of places. Put it on Stoney's Discord too. Bartle's Discord. Bartle and the Dead Guy. Shouts out to Bartle and the Dead Guy and Stony Low. Bartle and the Dead Guy Show. Go subscribe to them. And Gather.network. Go give the homie Stony Low a subscribe as well. I believe he's going to start doing wrap-up shows with the TPE boys on that channel. So yeah, go support Stony Low and his fresh Juggalo content, and Bartle Boss and the Dead Guy and their fresh Juggalo content. Shouts out to all the Juggalo YouTube content creators. Oh, let me turn on the chat. We got people in the goddamn chat. There we go. Yo, Heartbreaker, I see you. How you doing? Whoop whoop. Was Michael Jackson first horror singer? Yo, Lonely Dragon, I've said that on here a couple of times. I've said that on record. I've said that in a song. The illest wicked shit since Michael Jackson, Thriller, is a quote from moi. Forget which song I put that shit on, but I think so. But you can go back to other horror themed songs. You can do I Put a Spell on You. I forget the fella's name, that did that song in the 70s. Yeah, there's spooky, there's spooky music in pop culture, going back. I'm trying to think of an older one. You could say the Monster Mash is horrorcore. The Monster Mash, I think, is a song from the 50s or the 60s. So I think the clown's love of Esham's, I think you mean Esham's music. I think the clowns love Esham's music, but I don't think he inspired them. We're gonna get into that. I think he did. I'll go ahead and show my cards. I do think Esham largely inspired the Insane Clown Posse, and I will tell you why a little bit later on. Maybe in terms of actually rapping, but in terms of their style, I don't think so. I actually think Esham inspired the paint. I think they've talked about this with Homie Don't Play. Esham is painted up on the cover, and this is before ICP decided to use paint. They saw Esham on the cover with paint, and Esham, Jay says this on the recent stream. He asked, does he paint himself up like that all the time? Ding, light bulb moment. That's the light bulb moment, right, ladies and gentlemen. So, that's one of the main reasons that actually is the place I think they got the inspiration for the clown paint. So I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. I'm going to bring that up a little bit later, but fuck it. We'll go ahead and talk about it now, seeing as Heartbreaker brought it up in the goddamn chat. All right, let me get into my notes proper, though. I have a lot of Humble Among Broadcast System style notes to get into before we get into my weird Twitch obsession with taking notes of Insane Clown Posse Twitch streams. Okay, so let's see. I want to talk a little bit about SpongeBob SquarePants, oddly enough. I've recently been watching Oh, let me put this link in fucking Twitter, too. That was the last place. Live now on YouTube. Talking jug shit. Okay. Paste. Bow. Alright, there's one on fucking Twitter. Did ICP inspire Eminem? That's a whole nother thing that I'm going to get into on my Slim Shady LP video. I have a lot of thoughts about the Slim Shady LP that I need to sit down and write. I need to do a song-by-song breakdown of the Slim Shady LP for you guys and give you my ICP thoughts. Yes, the Insane Clown Posse inspired Eminem, without a doubt. And Esham did too. He name drops Esham multiple times in his early career. And I don't want to show my cards too much on this, but I believe Eminem's The Slim Shady LP is a Juggalo record. I believe that I think he was looking to be accepted by the Insane Clown Posse, honestly, and Esham. I think he wanted desperately to be accepted by that community. And I think that first album really illustrates that. But we're going to get into that when I get into my Slim Shady LP video. I do have a lot of thoughts about that. But first, SpongeBob SquarePants. So, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up watching Nicktoons, Doug and Rugrats and all that shit, man. But, I got to the age where it was like, I was kind of growing out of it, as whack as that is to admit. I grew out of comic books. I grew out of pro wrestling. I grew out of a lot of shit I loved as a kid when I became a teenager. I did come around to that shit all again, but by the time things like Cat Dog were premiering, Team Rocket were premiering, and SpongeBob SquarePants were premiering on Nickelodeon, I was out. I was done. I was not really into those newer Nicktoons, those newer styles of Nicktoons. It just wasn't my shit. I was getting too old, as whack as that is to admit. But, Ren and Stimpy is one of my favorite Nicktoons of all times. And I always saw a little bit of Ren and Stimpy in SpongeBob, regardless of me sleeping on SpongeBob for years. So I've never really seen any SpongeBob, guys. But recently, I've been sitting down with Emily, who's a fucking huge SpongeBob fan. And we've been going through, we finished the first season and we are now in the second season. And yeah, SpongeBob SquarePants is fucking ill. And it's a shame I slept on it for so long. And it makes me want to go back and rewatch a lot of other Nicktoons. So, my little SpongeBob rant I need to get off there at the top of the show. That's what I've been spending a lot of my time watching, is SpongeBob. I did watch The Batman. I do need to tell you guys some thoughts about The Batman in a separate video as well. Batman was awesome, though. Stone Cold at WrestleMania. It seems to me Stone Cold is wrestling at WrestleMania. I'm definitely going to be trying to stream a commentary track, if you will, a live stream of WrestleMania, making fun of it with special guests coming on the stream with me. And I think mostly we're going to be shitting on WrestleMania, but I do want to watch WrestleMania and stream it. So I think I'm going to do that. Other wrestling related news, more Juggalo related wrestling news. A Juggalo was on Dynamite this week on Wednesday night. He was in the front row. I found the motherfucker on Twitter and added his ass. Shouts out to the dude who painted up and went on Dynamite on the front row. He was wearing a, let's see, I know he had shit, what shirt did he have on? Oh man. He had a clown shirt on, and he had a Hatchet Man, and he had a Ringmaster beanie. I know that shit. But shouts out to that dude being on Dynamite. Joe Bob Briggs, horror host extraordinaire. Joe Bob Briggs returns to Shudder with The Last Drive-In Season 4, Friday, April 29th. So my ass will be looking to peep that shit. Very exciting shit. Let's see. Yes, Friday, April 29th, Joe Bob Briggs returns with The Last Drive-In. He said one of the movies that he's showing, I didn't know if he meant the first one or the second one, will be the 100th Last Drive-In movie shown on Shudder, so that's really dope. I want to talk a little bit about Rob Zombie's The Munsters. A lot of people shit on Rob Zombie. I'm not, I have my criticisms of Rob Zombie's Halloween, mostly being he swears too much in that movie. I think it distracts from the overall narrative, the amount of swearing that the characters do in those, especially that first Halloween movie. They swear way too fucking much. It's distracting and kind of cringy and corny. It's unneeded. But in regards to that, a lot of people say that Rob Zombie was going to ruin The Munsters and make it an hard R. The Munsters rating came out and it is a PG. Rob Zombie posted that it is a PG rated movie. So you will have a more family orientated Munsters. The goofiness of Munsters will be intact. He is a fan of the Munsters, so don't get it twisted. Let me catch up on the chat. Jimmy Pocket said Ren and Stimpy was quality. Rocket Power all day, Lonely Dragon said. He said Stumpy. He corrected himself with Stimpy. I met Joe Bob 2 years ago. Rode an elevator with him and didn't even realize till he got off, Bartle Boss said. That's fucking crazy, man. I don't know what I would say to Joe Bob. He's almost like in the category of like someone like the Insane Clown Posse, where I would like to meet them, but I don't know what the fuck I would say. I've met Shaggy Two Dope face to face. It's on video. It's in my Gathering documentary when he goes to the TPE campsite. I catch that shit and I videotape it, and he comes right to my camera. He walks right to my camera, and I fucking choke because he just says, "What up, doe?" right to my camera, and I'm like, I don't know what do I say to this man? Yeah. I love the Halloween. I enjoyed the Halloween ones. Jimmy Pocket said, love Rob Zombie Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is dope as fuck. I think Halloween 2 is a very slept on Halloween movie. I like Halloween 2 a lot from Rob Zombie. My favorite Halloween movie until the newest one came out. You mean Halloween Kills Heartbreaker? Or Halloween 2018? House of a Thousand Corpses used to be my favorite horror movie of all time, so gotta love Rob. I choked when I met Alex Vincent. Bartle Boss says, House of a Thousand Corpses is my shit. And Pest in here with the 2 whoops. Whoop, whoop. Alright. I need to get to my notes, guys. We got a lot of shit to talk about. So, I'm gonna get on my my physical media soapbox real quick. This was brought to my attention via social media. I forget who I read this from. That doesn't cross my mind. Fuck. Dr. Dre, The Chronic, and the first 2 Snoop Dogg albums are gone from streaming. If you go to your Spotify's, I didn't check Apple, but it's gone from Spotify. And I don't know if this has anything to do with Snoop Dogg's new ownership or running of Death Row Records, but this is why I always tell people, make sure if you love a piece of art, you own the physical version of it if it exists. If you can get your hands on a physical version of that piece of art, hold on to that shit. Cherish that shit, because it might go away. Don't count on digital things being there for you forever. There's nothing forever about the digital age. This shit is very temporary. A lot of shit is going to get lost in this digital age. They already talk about it with, there's a whole bunch of music from the MySpace days that's just gone. There's like a whole era of music from MySpace that's just gone. That will be a reoccurring theme in the digital age. Whole eras are just going to be lost. It's going to be like the libraries of Alexandria burning again, in a lot of ways. Whoop whoop, Charlie Brown in the house. Fuck Halloween 2018. That movie was trash. Goddamn. Strong opinion. But yes, collect physical media. If you truly care about these things, hold on to them, cherish them, because they are not going to be here forever. Humble, we need to get you on a wrestling stream at Bartle and the Dead Guy Show. Yes, I tuned into your guys' stream last night. That shit was dope. I'm trying to get on a stream. I'm a busy motherfucker, though. I definitely want to get up on there. I've thought about music storage like that. Gather.network, I see you, said, that's the way I see a lot of this stuff, man. Especially, it happens with movies, too. TV shows. There's certain episodes of South Park that have been pulled for various reasons, and you know, various episodes of a lot of things get pulled for various reasons. Whoop whoop, Anthony. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, but yeah, hold. I own several copies of Dr. Dre's The Chronic. I'm willing to sell you one when when you're. I mean, it's not like it's hard to find a copy of Dr. Dre's The Chronic. That's got to be one of the most mass-produced albums of all time. Speaking of mass production. Now, this is like old school Humble Among shit with the segues. Ooh. Speaking of mass production, I want to shout out Sean Beard, who created the incredible, the Great Buttlinko, Beavis and Butthead mashup with the Great Malenko, where Beavis is the Great Butthead. I'm sorry, is the Great Malenko. He posted this, I think this morning, about the new Adele album that just came out. I'm going to read his post because he illustrates one of these mass production things perfectly. Every Walmart in America has at least 60 copies of the new Adele record due to it being mass overproduced to the point of backing up pressing plants and causing a mass vinyl pellet shortage. You guys have maybe heard about the vinyl shortage. This Adele record is one of the main reasons there's a vinyl shortage. She has become to vinyl records what Jerry Maguire was to VHS, or Titanic for that fact, where we'll be seeing unopened copies of this record in dollar bins for the rest of our lives. Meanwhile, there's a 1.5 year wait to press a record from anywhere. Thanks, Adele, whoever you are. That's from Sean Beard once again on Facebook, and you know he's right. I haven't been in a Walmart to check for Adele records or anything, but you know. They are overproducing records that aren't selling, and that's a great example of it. I've heard about this Adele record being a major reason of why they fucking slowed down the vinyl pressing. And yeah, I just wanted to give Sean Beard some love because he's fucking right about that. And shouts out to Sean Beard's Beavis and Butthead collection because he has the best Beavis and Butthead collection in the world, I believe. Light Metamorphosis. I listened to it, you guys. You guys asked me to listen to it, and I listened to it. And I'll be completely honest, I got about 4 or 5 songs into that shit, and I turned it off. I am not feeling the new Light. No offense to Light, it's just not my style of rap music. Was not feeling that shit. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say. I just was not feeling it. What's great about art, though, you guys, is art is subjective. And everybody can enjoy whatever the fuck they want. I just wasn't feeling this Light record. I don't know if Light's just a rapper for me. He's too much in that Tech Nine, strange music vein of artist, and I don't know. I honestly don't like a lot of Tech Nine either. I like more old school Tech Nine, like goddamn Angelic, my favorite Tech Nine album. Horror, spelled with 3 9s, put out an album Skin, produced by Travis Barker and with features from Corey Taylor, Bun B, Saul Williams, and Josiah. I haven't finished listening to this record. I just found out this record came out today. It came out last week, though. And this record's fire, man. I fuck with Horror. I've listened to their other projects. I believe they have a couple of projects. I've definitely listened to their shit. And this album is awesome. Produced entirely by Travis Barker. I would highly recommend this album to people who like punk rock, hardcore music, and that city morgue style rap music, and you know, even strangely enough, old school hip hop heads in a way, old school punk heads and hip hop heads. Check this record out; it's fucking great. Horror, spelled with 3 9s, replacing the R's, so HO9909. Go check their music out. They have an album called Skin, and it's fresh as shit. Cypress Hill, Back in Black, came out today. I haven't had a chance to listen to this new Cypress Hill album. So yeah, if you're a Cypress Hill fan, go check that shit out. So many good bands that were on MySpace that are just gone now. Everything can be deleted. It's crazy. Physical copies is the way to be, like paper books. You already know the deal behind me. Mom's got to listen to something. Oh, Adele. That's an Adele. I like what you did there. I guess that is kind of mom music, huh? Vinyl sounds so good. I do have a small vinyl collection. I have a few ICP vinyls. Carnival of Carnage being one of them. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Darby O'Trill has a new song and music video. Casey Becker is Dead, out now on the LSP YouTube channel, I believe. Go check that shit out. It is fucking dope. I think Nicotini is the name of the man who edited, or entity who edited the video. Produced by Devereaux. The Gully album cover is at the end of the video. Gully coming soon. I ordered Hex's album, Demon Season. So that is coming soon. I got that shirt bundle. I'll do an unboxing for that when that gets here. Let's see, April. That's not the. Oh, okay. Hex is also playing a show, the Smoked Out Spring Barbecue, on April 9th. This is a 2-day event at the Monterey Fairgrounds in Monterey, California. Hex is playing the April 9th date. But that April 9th date is fucking stacked. You got E40, Too Short, Ramirez, and fucking Hex. So you got some West Coast Juggalos that are watching this right now. That seems like a fucking dope-ass West Coast rap event. You should go fucking check out the Smoked Out Spring Barbecue at the Monterey Fairgrounds. That shit sounds fucking dope. I ordered Fallen Angelic as well. I got the 5-pack, boy, with the special mystery item. I will be unboxing that, and I will be giving away 3 copies to, I don't know how I'm going to give them away, but 3 copies to you motherfuckers that are watching this right now. I have to figure out a way to give these to you, but I'm going to be giving away 3 copies of Ouija Macc's new album, Fallen Angelic, from this 5-pack that I get. 2 copies I'm keeping for my OCD Ouija Macc collection, but I will be giving away 3 copies. Stay tuned. Keep watching Humble Among content if you would like to win these copies. I will be dropping details on how I'm going to have this giveaway happen. I don't fucking know. If you have an idea how I should do this giveaway, the freshest idea I've had so far is funniest comment left on the YouTube video. So that's what I'm going to throw out there right now. Funniest comment left on this YouTube video wins 1 of the Ouija Macc Fallen Angelic CDs. Leave a comment, not a chat. Don't do it in the chat right now. Leave a comment on this video after the fact if you would like to enter to win a copy of Fallen Angelic. And make it funny. And don't make it hurtful. Make it funny. Really funny. If I think it's funny, if the funniest one's going to win. Okay? So, fuck it. We'll do that one. I'm going to figure out a way to give away the other 2. Let's see. The Bloody Brothers single is out. I did a review video for that. Go check that out on my YouTube here. One of the videos behind this one. Let's see. Oh, on the Powcast. I want to talk about this. On the Powcast, they talked about they're going to be doing a demo jam. So I'm most certainly going to be trying to enter into this because it's a chance for an artist to have a spot on Wednesday on the main stage. This is the demo jam that they did for the Juggalo show. I believe they didn't do it last year, but they did it in 2019. I believe Gorilla Pimpin' won the main stage slot in 2019 from the demo jam. So Shaggy's Day is Saturday at the Gathering. And he's going to have 5 to 6 runners-up from this demo jam play the daytime stage on Saturday because it's Shaggy's Day. He can book whatever he wants. So he's going to have some runners-up from this contest playing on the daytime stage. So this is a good opportunity for you Juggalo rappers like myself to get a spot at the Gathering of the Juggalos. So email shaggyinthecreep@gmail.com. Send them a fucking track. I have to fucking send them a track apparently. I still haven't done that. Jay's birthday confusion. I talked a little bit about that. My confusion really. Jay's birthday show has been announced. It is April 28th in Milwaukee at the Rave. I think tickets are up now. And I'm going to break down the ticket prices for you a little bit now because they're interesting ticket prices for this and weird tiers to this ticket shit. So tickets are on sale now. They're $112 for general admission, standing room only style bitches. $137 for VIP balcony boys. $202 for VIP balcony reserve seating. $202. Now, I don't know if the VIP means you get the VIP treatment with Fago Armageddon. I didn't really look too much on the website. I was just trying to get these prices for you real quick. And reserve parking, or just parking, I guess, for $15. So, quite the expensive little show, but basically staying in the 125 range of new standardized ICP ticket prices, I guess. I expected about $100 to be this show. Esham and Ouija Macc have been added to this show, I should mention at this point. Walking Home Tuesday is coming next month. Violent J said on one of the streams I'm about to cover. Miss Juggalo pageant, or contest, I think they're calling it, is coming back. I think because that girl said Neden on the Neden game last night. I think that kick-started them to decide to do the new Miss Juggalo. This was the post Insane Clown Posse made earlier today. We need a new Miss Juggalo. Good news, y'all. Miss Juggalo Contest 2022 coming next month to ICP Network. No Juggalos, please. It don't matter how fine your Neden is. Keep it up, or keep it. Wow. Basically just throwing shade at the homegirl there. Write in to icphouseparty@gmail.com now if you want to be the next Miss Juggalo. Let's see. And the jam exam is going to be next. Let me catch up with the chat, and then I'm going to do the jam exam for you guys. We're 26 minutes in, so I'm doing pretty good on time. I'm not trying to go super long, and I got a lot of shit to talk to you guys about. Oh my God, Emily, get that goddamn porno motherfucker in there. Did you get that motherfucker, Emily? I think she must have got that motherfucker, because that motherfucker stopped. Where are the Hammer Girls, someone said. Jimmy Pocket said, where are the Hammer Girls? A monk. You going to Violent J's birthday bash? Nah, man, probably not. It's in Milwaukee. E40 and Hex going to be dope. Gather.network said, fuck yes, it will, man. Twisted Ninja Juggalo says, money, money, money. Gather, gather, gather. From, I already sent my email for you to be main stage. Thank you, Heartbreaker, at the Juggalo. Yes, you can send an email to gatheringofthejuggalos@outlook.com and request me to be on the Wednesday. I would like to do my own show. I would like to actually organize Humble Amongst Juggalo Extravaganza and like just show off fresh Juggalo shit. I would like to do that. If you would like to see me do that, ask for that shit. I think that would be so fresh to do that. Would you like to see Prince Devitt as free agent in professional wrestling? Yes, I would, Hook. I'd like to see Prince Devitt in AEW. I'd like to see an insane Bullet Club reunion. They have a lot of the Bullet Club in AEW. I don't see why not. The fucking, I don't know what they give Finn over there, but they must give him pretty good money. Oh, I did see Samoa Joe got released again before I got on this. I want to see you perform live, brother. I need to hear the carnival energy coming from your microphone right into my ears. I'm going to post my live performance from Juggalo Jump Off on here, you guys. Oh, Emily was napping. Sorry, I got him. Congrats on your sobriety days, Humble. Thank you. Yesterday was St. Patty's Day. Big drinking day for most of everybody, but not for me because I don't drink. And I made a post about being 670 days sober. 671 as of today. Thank you, Stony. Much appreciated. I'll send your info as well. Thank you to Twisted Nin Juggalo. Very, very appreciated. Humble Among Gathering Extravaganza. Yes. Yes, let's do this. I would love to get a bunch of the sick Juggalo shit that I think is dope on a show. I would love to do that. Gathering of the Juggalos at outlook.com. Ask for Humble Among by name. Thank you. Anthony, congratulations to you too, man. I see you. Okay, I'm going to get into this jam exam. I have a lot of shit to talk about. I love Carnival of Carnage to death. It's one of my favorite Joker's card. I think Hell's Pit is my favorite. But, I mean, Carnival of Carnage is a very close second, if not a tie. I love the sound of Carnival of Carnage, the synthy basses, just the synth tones that are all over this motherfucker. Mikey Clark, Chuck Miller, and Esham somehow made it sound like one entity made this album. They really did a great job with the way that these three producers made a sound that is entirely its own. It's unlike a lot of rap records. It's very Detroit sounding rap record. Shaggy was talking a little bit on this stream about how it has some house music influences, and that, I don't think that's a coincidence. House music and techno music is very big in Detroit, and I think Chuck Miller, I don't know if Chuck Miller was in that scene at all, but I think that there's no coincidence some of that stuff made it in to Carnival of Carnage, and yeah, that shit's so dope. So I'm going to talk about the stream now. It started on time. There was an awesome blue and pink set, blue and pink chairs, or blue chairs, pink pillows, the whole works. I was very excited to see Esham at the start of this stream. Esham said he couldn't see them at the start, had some audio issues. I think they ended up fixing it. Esham talked about his new album a little bit, Psyops, and Jay asked what that means. Shaggy says Esham's always coming with the fresh shit, different terms. Esham drops knowledge on Psyops. The term, it's a military term, psychological operations, basically the government influencing minds. An example of this would be, what's a famous psyop? The government allegedly putting LSD in water in certain communities to see, I don't know, what the fuck happens. That maybe could be considered a psyop, if you will. I have an app, Jimmy. Jimmy says 671 days. I'd stop counting. I quit cigarettes 8 months ago. Gonna stop counting. I don't count. I have an app in my phone that counts for me. What is that fucker called? If you are an addict who wants to keep track of your shit, NoMo, NoMo, is an app that I use to keep track of my sobriety day. I don't keep track of that shit. That app keeps track of it. Congrats on your 70th day of being sober. Thank you very much, Heather. Do you think that chick from last night Twitch stream is a juff or just dumb? I can see where someone can misread Neden. Pest. I don't think she's. I'll tell you. I remember the Juggalette pageant, and people were in the chat calling her a juff then. I don't remember why they were calling her a juff then. But I think it's just because she's a pretty girl, to be honest with you. And I think that they, I don't know. I think there's an unfortunate trend with Juggalos to hate on pretty females sometimes. Almost like a pretty female can't be a part of this community. I don't know. I think she maybe was nervous and misread it. Maybe she straight up never heard the Neden Game. Maybe she didn't know. But I mean, she's on the show called the Neden Game, so I think, how the fuck doesn't she know? You know, she's on the show. I think it's she was just nervous. I don't think she's dumb. Mind Control by CIA. Charles Manson was a psyop. Yo, shouts out this book right here, actually. Chaos. I have not read this book. I bought this, I heard about this on a podcast. Chaos. Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s. This is allegedly some shit about how the CIA was maybe hooking Charlie up with LSD and maybe let Charlie get away with a few things. If you notice, Charlie had a lot of history of being in and out of jail. He very coincidentally got out of jail very easily a lot of times. I wonder why that is. Anyway, that book goes into some of that shit apparently, and that's kind of my shit, so I had to get that book. I need to sit down and do more reading, including the Tom Dub book for you guys. I'm going to keep threatening to read that Tom Dub book until I actually do it. Let's see. Jay compliments Esham's titles after talking about Psyops. Protests happening by his house. Riots in his backyard is what he described. That's what inspired Psyops, Esham was saying. The George Floyd protests / riots. Esham calls them riots, by the way. That was Esham's terminology. Whoever said that blocked me for some reason? Say what? Hey, yeah, Anthony. Yeah, that seems like it might be up your alley as well, Anthony. Check that shit out, man. I forget which podcast I heard that on, but I immediately was like, I have to check that shit out. Carnival of Carnage was released on October 18th, 1992. It was recorded pretty much from 1990, I think, until 1992. I think because tracks as early as 1990 and 1989 being recorded for Dog Beats, I believe. or just 1990. Maybe all that shit happened in 1990, 1991. My history on that is not great. They did say most of Carnival of Carnage was recorded in 1991, though. Carnival of Carnage went gold. Jay said it would probably be platinum if the copies without a barcode were counted, but Jay said it went gold. Did it go gold? I didn't have enough time to Google and figure that out on my own. Talking about missing CD sales and the new reality of music with streaming. And you can see the look on Esham's face when they talked about this, about how he misses CD sales, because that's a man who made a lot of money off of selling CDs. I don't eat lean cuisine. Yo, that's so fresh you brought that up, Isadef. I don't eat lean cuisines anymore because they went up in price. And my cheap ass is like, nah, dog. $3.12. Nah, dog. It's too expensive for me. My cheap ass is like, no way, Jose. Lean cuisine, what you trying to tax me? Trying to tax me for that chicken parm? Howard, number 2, right? Oh, you guys are talking about the girls. We're gonna get to the girls. You guys are way ahead of me. Holy shit, I'm on the jam exam. These motherfuckers are on the Neden game. Fuck, where was I? Okay, Esham talking. They're talking about CD sales declining in the age of streaming. They start talking about the first time they met Esham at the radio station in 96.3 in Detroit. This is going to get into some of my Esham influenced or inspired ICP shit. This was the hip-hop explosion show that they were going on. They were dropping off the Dog Beats tape, which they get played on that show, and Esham and his entourage were walking into the building while they were walking out, was how I understood that. And they were wearing their Real Life Productions leather jackets when they were coming in. And Jay's talked about this moment before, and I think Jay's even admitted this is what inspired them to want to do the psychopathic leather jackets in the 90s when they were really fucking booming. And everyone in the crew had a goddamn psychopathic leather. This was a big thing, and I think that is largely because of Esham. Jay wanted to be very much like Esham. Jay looked up to Esham. Don't get it twisted. Jay freely admits in this stream that's why I made this a question, because I don't. The answer to the question is obviously yes. Esham did inspire ICP. That to me, that's a pretty obvious answer because Violent J freely admits it. Now I'm going to even get very specific and speculate that, you know, Homie Don't Play, that image on the cover is really where the clown paint even came from, because he saw Esham in that shit and he thought it was dope, and he asked, does he do that all the time? Light bulb moment. That's the light bulb moment. Anyway, let's see. They talked about how there was 2 kingpins in Detroit rap, Kid Rock and Esham. But Kid Rock had a major deal with Jive, and Esham was independent, and how they respected Esham more because of that. Because he was on the same level, essentially, but doing it on his own. Jay said they patterned this is important, they patterned psychopathic after Real Life. He straight up said that on the stream. They looked up to Esham because he had an album in Harmony House, and he had really good distribution. Now, this is about the point where I cut out this clip, and I put it on my YouTube. Esham talking about the wicked shit. Is right about here. They talked about Esham's reputation in Detroit and how Esham's music had a certain dark reputation. There's a rumor about kids killing themselves because of Esham's music. Jay says when they first played Esham's music, the sky turned red. He's told that story multiple times, and he insists on it. He says people think he's crazy, and Esham kind of laughs at that and he said, this motherfucker tripping. But Jay insists the sky turned red. Esham said they sold his tape in paper bags, and you had to ask for Esham's record with a password. You'd be like, I want the Esham record, and they had a special word to get it or some shit. That's how fucking illicit this Esham record, this smut, this wicked shit was in Detroit. This red tape was rather infamous. Shaggy made a joke at this point. Oh wait, Jay said no one has done the wicked shit like Esham. I believe this is the point I have clipped out. Shaggy said that they sold Esham's album at the same shop they sold Mogwai's at, which this went over their heads, but there's a Gremlins joke. I think he had to even say it was a Gremlins joke. That went over their heads for a second. Booming Words from Hell is on a red cassette tape, though. It's called the Red Tape a lot in the collector community. There's a great Danny Brown story. I don't know where Danny tells this story, but Danny tells an awesome story about Esham's Red Tape and finding it as a kid in the street in Detroit, not knowing what it is and going home and putting it in the tape player. And I think it was his homie's older brother's like, yo, you can't play that shit. That's devil music. You can't play that Esham shit in here. So that's another story from someone else who grew up in Detroit that illustrates how infamous this Red Tape was in Detroit. Jay telling a story about first discovering Detroit rap with Easy B and DJ Los. That was the first Detroit rappers he found out. His friend had a tape on the bus and he bumped that shit. Day 77, Trailer Park. Congratulations. Keep it up, brother. ICP Inspired Tech 9. That is big facts. I definitely agree with you, Lonely Dragon. 100%. It inspired strange music. Psychopathic Records definitely inspired strange music. I feel the same way. Alric and Pesta, I think, are still talking about the Neden Game. I was really big into Esham when I was younger, but those albums were in a dark period of my life, and I avoid them nowadays. I hear you on that, Trailer Park. I still love that shit, though. I just listened to Tongues again for the first time in a long time, and I was playing a game. I was counting Eminem disses. I think we ended up at like 8 or 9 Eminem disses on Tongues. And how fucking wild is it? The wild shit Esham said on Tongues about Eminem and Haley, and how Eminem never said shit again about Esham after I'm not acid rap, but I rap on acid. That after he said that and Esham got pissed, he never said shit again about E. He might have felt safe talking shit about the clowns. I think it's really important to illustrate Eminem did not feel safe saying shit back about Esham. Esham was that respected in Detroit. Still that respected in Detroit, goddammit. What's this was shit? God damn it. Making myself mad. Let's see. Their whole crew was Detroit rap heads. Jay went to a record store looking for Detroit rap and found Esham. He already had 1 album and 2 EPs out. Boomin' Words from Hell, Erotic Poetry, and Homie Don't Play, with the clown paint on the cover. Now, I've said it a few times on this stream already, and I'll say it again. I think this is where they got the idea for the clown paint, is looking at the cover. ICP has said this in interviews. I believe it's in fucking Behind the Paint back here. That they see the Homie Don't Play album cover, and that's where he gets the idea. Jay saw the clown paint on Homie Don't Play and wanted to know if he wears that all the time. Light bulb moment. Clown inspiration from that cover. Speculation for years about this. I don't even think it's speculation at this point. In my mind, that's to me what happened. Then he talks about the wicked shit. This is the part that I clipped out. Really awesome stuff. Esham talked about Jay wanting to be signed to Real Life Production and asking multiple times. And Esham saying no, but I will show you some things. Jay did not argue this. So Jay was asking to get signed to Real Life Productions. I think this really shows like how much he looked up to Esham. They weren't trying to necessarily make Psychopathic its own entity. They would probably have taken a record deal from Real Life. Maybe Psychopathic would have folded at that point. Black in Your Eyes was recorded in Esham's mom's house. They talked about an army of wicked shit rappers basically copying Esham, coming after him, and how it was impossible for them to do anything because Esham was so original and fresh. He was already doing that shit. Like, so they were already copying his shit, whether they knew it or not. Talked about growing up in Detroit and how that plays such a role in how this music was crafted, how it was created. The darkness of Detroit, the grittiness of Detroit. Talked about everyone listening to Esham, like everyone, like across the age ranges, how it felt criminal to listen to Esham. Jay said he is grateful that they are still doing it, still around making new records 30 years later. Esham talking about how he didn't really know what he was doing as far as producing stuff. He took it really seriously because he got paid to make the beats for the first time with ICP. ICP is the first group ever Esham produced for, by the way, he said on this stream. He worked his ass off for a couple of days on the Carnival of Carnage intro. Talked about having Esham do the intro to Carnival of Carnage. I think they mean the Carnival of Carnage title track when they're talking about this. And Esham mispronouncing Carnival of Carnage as Carnival of Carnix. Rather infamous story from Behind the Paint. Esham said there's no samples on the Carnival of Carnage track, just drum machine sounds. But then he said he thought he played bass later on when they actually played the track. Jay says the crew... Jay asked the crew to play the intro, which they play the actual intro, but he means the Carnival of Carnage song. They sit through the intro and it plays again somehow. Jay finally says play the next track because he realizes what's going on. Carnival of Carnage track plays. Esham said he thinks he played bass on it. Also mentions there's some audio issues still and he can barely hear it. He made the track at his mom's house. Esham talked about how he used to pick ICP up in a yellow car to go record. You and Shaggy, he said, with a really look of nostalgia in his eyes, fondness in his eyes even. Esham was cool as fuck on this stream, man. It was really dope to see E on a stream. What if ICP got the paint from Batman? I don't see how that's a thing. In that hot-ass closet, Shaggy said they would record at his mom's crib. Dope shit. Facts, Anthony. Yeah. Oh, I don't believe that, Ot1. Ot1 says, have you ever heard that ICP used to stand for Islamic Caucasian people and they got laughed at, so that they were going to show him who was joking? Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. Is that a real thing? I've never heard that before in my Juggalo fandom, so I don't think that's a thing. Let's see. Made the track at his mom's yellow car. Shaggy said he shit his pants right before recording Black in Your Eyes. He had white shorts on and had to stop at a gas station to clean himself off. It was all in his shoes, he said. Shit his pants right before going to record at Esham's house. Probably got right back in that yellow car with shitty pants too. The Juggalo. This is where people think the word Juggalo comes from. They talked about not knowing where the word comes from. Juggalos created the Juggalo world. And how all they did was make a rap record and keep on making rap records. The Juggalos are the magical element, the supernatural element. The energy between Juggalos, between us, is the supernatural element. I think it might be one magical man named Violent J, but that's my theory, purely speculation. Talked about recording at Miller MIDI Studios, Miller MIDI Productions actually, and how it would take them 3 weeks to record a song because Chuck Miller would sit there and play every drum beat, literally every snare, every fucking kick, every hi-hat, and make them pick it out. And so it would take 3 weeks just to make a beat and do the track. Shaggy said all the tracks had a house techno feel because that's all Chuck Miller knew how to do. I talked about that at the beginning of this. They recorded like 4 songs at Chuck Miller's place and decided to find another studio. That studio was called Temper Mill Studios, and that's where they met Mikey Clark. They asked if they do rap. They said they do, and they named Esham and Kid Rock and a bunch of other Detroit rappers, and they're like, all right, this shit's legit. They do Esham and Kid Rock. The studio was in Ferndale, and they didn't even know about it, even though they lived there at the time. They booked a session and went in and met Mike for the first time. He was renting a room in Temper Mill and was their rap guy. They immediately felt more at ease with Mike than they did at Chuck Miller's, and talked about Chuck Miller yelling at them for squeaking in the chairs. Chuck Miller apparently very strict in his studio. Mike's studio was relaxed and felt more like a real studio, they said. They came to Mike's studio with the print sample from Juggalo and a bass line in Jay's head apparently. Mike threw on a break beat that they never even heard break beats before because of the whole picking out every snare thing. Mike looped it up in like 10 seconds and he made the beat in like 40 minutes and they couldn't believe it. Mike's skills and they couldn't believe Mike's skills and how they were getting fucked. This is how they put it. They recorded the Juggalo that day and they were blown away that they were able to do that. Esham said Mikey Clark was really about his shit, really knew his shit. They called him the Fonky Honky and the chairman of the boards. These were Mike's nicknames. These were Mike's nicknames back in the day. They were left feeling like it was possible for them to really do this now because they recorded this song so fast. I think it rejuvenated them, honestly. Esham met Mike at they kept going back and forth. Esham was calling this Side Sticks Studio, I think, and Jay was calling it The Disc. So I don't know what's up with that, but they were using the names back and forth. Esham met Mike at Side Stick Studios, I believe he said, when Mike was just a student. And he said he recorded Boomin' Words from Hell in one day in a 10-hour block. That's fucking crazy if true. Violent J later on kind of disputes this because of the recording method that Esham allegedly used to record these songs. They talked about sampling City Country City, and that song is sampled for both the Carnival of Carnage track and Redneck Ho, apparently. Life-changing experience recording with Mike, they said again. The day they walked into Miller Midi is the day the group began, 4 members still there. Then the 2 Johns quit. Esham asked about Greasy about this point. They told him about him owning a bar on the east side. The second song recorded at Temper Mill was First Day Out. Jay said the Juggalo is a boasting song, a shit-talking song to introduce the carnival world. But First Day Out is going back to more the inner city posse, dog beats, gangsta sound. Shaggy said it was the start of some of the comedy of ICP as well. Some of talking about the R&B part that Shaggy has there, and how R&B bridges inspired Shaggy's part in the song. Storytelling song, Jay talks about Ice Cube being a huge influence on him. Biggest influence next to Esham. He calls Ice Cube the best storyteller in rap. Jay talked about screwing up First Day Out at Juggalo Weekend a little bit. Says he's known for fucking up lyrics, so it's cool. Jay says Shaggy steals the show with his part. Shaggy says it's balanced out. Jay talks about the keyboard, and how it's constantly changing throughout the song. They play a little bit of it. They talked about the bass line being a classic rap bass line that they still use to this day. Next song is Redneck Ho. Talked about the sample from War, City Country City again. They said they basically jacked the country part for this song. Their friends did the redneck voices at the beginning. Their names were Dave Maverty and Mike Drabeck. Mike Drabeck, rest in peace. They weren't sure. They weren't sure if Dan was still with us, but they apparently had a hillbilly accent. They could do hillbilly accents because their families were from the South. They played a little bit of that song. Jay talked about the clown voice in the background that says "fucking bigot" in the beat, and how he wanted that in the song to get the message across that this is an anti-racist song. Jay telling the story of moving to Booney Dune, North Carolina, and seeing racism for the first time. Booney Dune, North Carolina. What a fucking name for a town. When Jay came back, he had a hatred for rednecks after that. Rebel flags were everywhere down there. Talked about how that flag was everywhere in 92 even. Esham at this point said it's one of the hardest records they ever did. And that no one really took a stand on that before them. Called it the white fuck the police, which I thought was so fucking fresh. The white fuck the police. And it is the white fuck the police. He's right. Said they were brave to do that. Jay tells a story about performing at a venue one night where Rebel flag was hanging from the ceiling. Jay stopped the show and said they won't play anymore till that flag is gone. Juggalos made a human pyramid all the way up and pulled that flag down. I've heard someone else tell this story. I can't remember who told this story on the Juggalo podcast. I know I've heard someone else tell this story, so this is a real fucking story, not by Jay confirming it. That's so fucking dope. Commercial break. They're showing Juggalo commercials on this shit now, so get your commercials in. One for Kratom Coffee that a Juggalo is doing, another for some wrestlers. Not the best quality, so get your fucking commercials in. Still fresh, they're playing them. I'm going to try to get my commercial in soon. Fat Titty Kitty was on this bitch plugging in for him, Juggalos. They played an Esham music video. They played a commercial for a Morton's List event in Knoxville, Tennessee. So if that's something you're into, look up that Morton's List event. Manny is back after the commercial break. Subs, bits, and the old school, the ICP Old School Heat Show plugging. Talking about hyperlinks, jersey auctions. The blue Carnival of Carnage jersey was the jersey they were wearing tonight, by the way. Audio was cut here on the replay because Shaggy said he wanted to see Maddie twerking. Nah, I'm just kidding. It was actually because of something else. Oh, the Scott Hall thing. That's why it was. They said some nice words about Scott Hall, and they show a highlight reel cut to pass me by. I caught that on the live stream, but if you watch the replay, they silence the music. But ICP put that shit on YouTube, so you can see the Scott Hall tribute on YouTube unsilenced. Esham is gone now. He was only there for the first hour, which is unfortunate. I wish he was there for the whole stream. They talked about Wizard of the Hood, talking about Chuck Miller charging fees for everything. A tape dub fee to dub a tape on his fucking boombox. A phone fee, shaking the box to use the phone. They talked about the Red Apple restaurant across the street, how that's where Shaggy drew the original Hatchet Man. There was a girl that knew who they were and that geeked Jay out around Dog Beats time. They talked about Wizard of the Hood being the only song where all 4 original ICP members are rapping. And then they moved to Guts on the Ceiling. They made this to be a radio single. No swearing on this song. They used like Futher Mucker and Muck, and like they didn't want to use swearing, which is so funny because it's such a violent song. So it's funny to me they wanted this to be the radio single. They wanted to get it on Hip Hop Explosion because they played dog beats for them. They told the story about the friend, Jay's friend Paul, who lived in a trailer park in Milford, and how he worked for his dad at the gold shop there. Jay said his dad was a bad man. He was an asshole, a dead asshole. He committed suicide with a shotgun inside Paul's trailer, and Jay went over there one day to hang out, and the body was gone and the carpet was removed, but there were still guts and brains all over the ceiling while they chilled. So that's where the inspiration for Guts on the Ceiling came from. They talked about this on one of the Jam Exam streams from last year. That blew my fucking mind. The song also has noises that change throughout the song, like First Day Out. They have a choreographed dance for the song, and they get up and do the dance. They said they used to have a lot of choreography back in the day, I believe it, with the kick stepping and all that shit. They talked about the St. Andrews Hall show, and that was the first time they saw a kid with clown paint. That was the only concert with Greasy. Talked about John quitting when they finally had to save up money to press up Carnival of Carnage. Shaggy points out that even then they were trying to put on a show, not just go out there and rap. They were trying to put on a show, and I think that was really dope. And this was before Fago, by the way. This is before Fago was being thrown. Talked about how they didn't do a lot of shows before they just started straight up selling out their shows. They said they did 2 shows before they started selling out, 3 if you count opening for Esham. Talked about getting Esham and Kid Rock through Mike, getting the features through Mike, how that elevated them. Features weren't really a thing in rap back then, they were saying. They've always wanted to put together the ultimate Detroit show with ICP, Kid Rock, and Esham, but they never could do it. They've done various combinations of this, but they can never get all 3 on one. They talked about Kid Rock showing up drunk for the session. Shaggy was mad about the haircut Kid Rock had, because Shaggy had the same haircut at the time. Let's see, now they go into Is That You with Kid Rock. Kid Rock would only do it if Mikey Clark produced the beat. This is the first of all Mikey Clark. Mike did the whole beat. ICP, I guess, would kind of give Mike like ideas and kind of direct him on what to do before then. Let's see, they would come with the bass line or samples or whatever. This one is all Mike, though, the first one. They got Kid Rock to be on the record for $600. Esham said he'd do it for $5. Kid Rock said, I'll do it for $6. Shaggy wanted to say he hates Kid Rock, but he can't knock his hustle from back in the day. Talked about how they never drink before the studio or at a concert. How they Shaggy said he takes it really serious, how he looks at it as work. Jay say they kind of diss each other in this song, him and Kid Rock. With that I just did motherfucker shit. Shaggy admits that I won't mix no rap with rock and roll like someone else I know from Fuck Off is a Kid Rock diss, and that Kid Rock asked him about it. I think that's so dope, because I've always thought that was a Kid Rock diss. That's so dope to hear Shaggy confirm that, yeah, that's a diss, and Kid Rock knew about it even. Kid Rock apparently dissed them in an EP back in the day, said that they drink Fago like pussies and he drinks beer or some shit. So that was why they did that diss on Fuck Off. They did a show with him and would pick his brain about ideas and hang out with him a little bit, but their relationship fizzled out, especially after Violent J figured out he was a racist. Shaggy figured out he was a racist. Talking about him drinking Jack Daniels before the show. Talked about him having a remix that he would do of this Is That You live. Night of the Axe. This begins the insanity side of the record. Shaggy said Sanity is just as insane as the sanity side, or as the insanity side. Let's see in the chat here. I love the story of the Juggalos taking down the rebel flag. It's a fucking dope. Blackened his shorts. Yes, blackened his shorts indeed. Let's see. Night of the Axe was another one recorded at Mitty Miller Productions. They said all the skit sound effects were real sounds that they had to record because Chuck Miller had no sound effects CDs. They talk about the scream as Violent J's girlfriend Karen in the song. They talked about this pizza story where one time there was a pizza, I guess, in the waiting room at the studio the whole session that Karen had left for them, and Chuck Miller only told them at the end of the session that the pizza was out there. He talked about being hungry and eating leftovers from Hungry Howie's that other rappers would leave there as well, how desperate they were at the time. And Shaggy said, I don't think motherfuckers know what being hungry really is like. Psychopathic is next. Jay says it's his favorite song on the record. This is also recorded at Miller MIDI. Same thing with the sound effects on here. Shaggy talking about his crappy DJ setup back in the day and how he had to slow down the tape to do the Transformer scratch on here. They show a picture of Miller MIDI Productions. Chuck Miller works at Guitar Center nowadays. On the Patreon stream, they actually interview Chuck Miller for the Funhouse Talk Show. Chuck Miller made Merciless Amir Day Without a Rhyme, and that's what got them to respect him. Let's see. Worked with him on Awesome Dre. They talked about working with Merciless Amir on an Awesome Dre song called You Can't Hold Me Back remix. Rapping to the Bitch at the French Fry Stand is based off of a real girl that Jay used to talk to at the circus, was trying to run game on at the circus, and they, I guess, followed her around to a few stops of the circus. Told a story about drinking Mad Dog and driving around in a Jeep, getting pulled over, and Joe and John run and hide in a shed for like 3 hours, and I guess Shaggy had to like walk home. Awesome story about Jay and Myers. Asked a girl what her tattoo meant, and she said white power, and Jay just dumped his whole soda on her head. That story was so fresh. Excuse me, I need to get a sip of water. Black in Your Eyes is next. Oh no, I started a new note thing. Fuck. Alright, Black in Your Eyes is next. Ooh, where'd it go? Oh, my notes jumped. Hold on a second. Red Apple, Guts on the Ceiling. Psychopathic. Ooh, there we go. They admit this song is fucked up right out the gate. Black in Your Eyes is fucked up. This is one of the songs taken off the record. Night of the Axe and Black in Your Eyes was not on the Island re-release initially of this record because it is fucked up. Who we got here? Yeah. Oh, we got a kitty trying to interrupt. Sorry, kitty. We powering through this stream. Normally I would bring a cat on the stream, but I got a lot of notes here. We might have to break this up. We might have to break this up into a second part, and I'll come back and do the Neden Game stream after, because we're already at an hour, and I got to do some more notes here. Yeah, they admitted this song Black in Your Eyes is fucked up. Shaggy said he had the original lyrics written in 2 different colors of ink, so him and John could go back and forth. He lost that piece of paper, unfortunately. He said he used to have it. Jay compliments the flow on this song. That is something that's really tight about Black in Your Eyes. The flow on Black in Your Eyes is really dope. Never Had It Made is next. Shaggy said this is his favorite off the record. This is the first song they ever did with multiple switch up, 4 beat changes throughout the song as his eras in his life are changing as well. Esham did the original beat, but they had some kind of fallout and they had to kind of remake the track with Mikey Clark. Jay talked about sampling the third part is the same sample as Esham's, and he wanted to make Esham mad or something as a Beastie Boys sample, I guess, on that third part. Next is Fuck Your Rebel Flag. Said they are proud of this song, said that the beat is inspired by early Paris joints. Jay likes the church bell in it. Drums on the hook are inspired by Civil War drums, those military drums on the hook. Let's see, they like doing that song in the South. Said they would sometimes get scared performing it even though. Said they used to follow cars that had the rebel flag on it. Shaggy says he still sees them and gets mad and wants to follow them. And Shaggy's wife, Lucha Renee, has to keep him in check. Shaggy takes it as a challenge, and Jay agrees. This is a challenge. It's like a gang rag thing. It's almost like they said, but Jay did say they used to handle it. Is how he put it. Ghetto Freak Show is up next. Shaggy says it's crazy how much Esham is on this record. I would agree. Jay said he thought of it as filler back in the day, and now he thinks it's really dope. Ghetto Freak Show is one of the key elements of this record, of the concept of this record. Back in the day, they used to talk about how the people going to Bobolo Island would drive past them and sort of be like looking at them and they felt like they were the Ghetto Freak Show before you went to the circus, before you went to Bobolo, the Bobolo there, the Bobolo boat, right? Bobolo boat, or is it Bobolo Island, or is it both? I guess it's Bobolo boat goes to the Bobolo Island, right? In Detroit. Yeah. So they would feel like the freak show before Bobolo Island, basically. And that's really what inspired Ghetto Freak Show. They don't say this on this stream, by the way. This is something they've talked about before. It's a key part of the album, of the origin story. I'd Rather Be Dead is an Esham sample. There's another Beastie Boys sample in here. The last song, Taste, is talked about next. This is the third song they recorded at Temper Mill Studios with Mike. Awesome Dre was supposed to be on this. They wanted to meet Awesome Dre somewhere nice, so they had him meet them at Karen's, Violent J's girlfriend's house. I guess Awesome Dre's manager showed up with a briefcase handcuffed to his wrist. This has been talked about before. They really crack on him for that. They agreed $500 for the feature but the day of the feature recording, Esham was again at the studio, and Esham's like, I'll do that shit right now for that $500. The manager is calling to get directions to the studio, and Alex has to get on the phone and say they lost the reels, and they were pissed. They told Awesome Dre about this years later. Shaggy talks about how they didn't know why he sounded different on this record than Boomin' Words from Hell. Now, this is really interesting. This is a really interesting tidbit. It was not the sound from Boomin'. So they tried to mix it to sound like Boomin' Words from Hell. And if you listen to that, it does have like some layers on it that have some effects to sort of make it sound like it. So Jay says that years ago, Greasy told him that Esham recorded Boomin' Words from Hell through a pair of headphones and used the headphone as a microphone. If you guys don't know, you could, back in the day, you could plug in a pair of headphones into the microphone jack and you could use a headphone as a microphone. And this is apparently how Esham recorded Boomin' Words from Hell in his bedroom. And Jay was saying he brought those tracks to Mikey Clark, and that would explain how he maybe banged out that whole record in 10 hours, because they just mixed it off of the tracks he recorded in his bedroom, maybe recorded some other stuff on top of it to make it sound better. But yeah, that's apparently how Esham got that fucking crazy sound back in the day, is recording through these headphones. Jay told Esham he should go back and do that old shit again with that old equipment to get that sound, just for a couple of songs at least. I think that's a dope idea. They talked about Capital E, how they met him at Hip Hop Explosion 2. He was from Southwest Detroit as well, so they immediately liked him. He was on Ringmaster as well. They talk about how special it is that Capital E's on the first two Joker's cards. He's the only person featured on the first two Joker's cards. Said it was a big deal. Capital E became Kool Keith's manager later in life, and didn't want to do his rap verse for the Ringmaster show. Apparently he's kind of embarrassed about his past. Greasy also doesn't want to do anything with Juggalodium. Wanted him as they wanted Greasy as a guest on one of the streams, apparently, probably the Funhouse Talk Show, and he said no. Jay said he's proud of everything. Talked about how these guys are apparently embarrassed about their Juggalodium. And Jay's talked about how he's proud of everything, even his mistakes. Taste is about leaving the inner city and bringing the violence to the suburbs, giving them a taste. Shaggy says that this is a song, that this song is what the Carnival of Carnage is, this song. This is the unofficial theme song for the record. Jump Steady is on the song as well. Jay announced that Jump Steady will be performing at the Gathering of the Juggalos on Violent J's Day. So there's a little news item for you. Jump Steady performing at the Gathering of the Juggalos. So go ahead and have at that. Jay talked about finding the blue cassette from a plant in Indiana. He had to call a bunch of different plants to find the right color cassette. Now, if you remember, what did I tell you guys about a red cassette earlier and how infamous it was? Violent J paid attention to that color of that cassette and how infamous it was. And he wanted to do the same thing with Carnival of Carnage. So he picked this blue cassette. They also picked the colors of Carnival of Carnage to fuck with your eyes, they said. And they made sure that those specific colors were used on the cover of the album. Let's see. I have in my notes here, Thursday is the Neden Game. I guess I'm going to break this stream up and I'm going to do the Neden Game stream separately from this one. Here's the subs only portion, which I have quite a bit of things to talk about in there. And then I'm going to wrap this stream up. Let's see. And then I'm going to catch up with let me catch up with the chat real quick, because I know you guys have been popping off and I've been ignoring you. Oh my God, we got the naked shit in here again, Emily, if you're watching. I don't know if you got those boys. Let's see. I don't think I missed too much. Michael, whoop whoop. I'm in Virginia, but about an hour from me, I spot rebel flags, and it's really sad and infuriating. Yeah, I bet in Virginia you see that shit a lot, Trailer Park. Yeah, hatred is fucking really stupid. It depresses me. You know, I was born in South Carolina, so South Carolina was a state that when I was born had the rebel flag flying over the Capitol still. You ever heard the Darth Vader track with Esham and Kool Keith? Is that on Kool Keith's record? I've heard the tracks that Esham has on his record. Who could turn down Juggalodium? I know, Michael. I agree. Fucking A. All right. Let me do this subs only portion, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I guess maybe even later tonight I'll do the second part, the Neden Game stream. But I'm going to wrap this up now, guys. The subs only portion. Jay said he was just about to tell Joey something right before they went live. And he's decided to tell everyone now. Shaggy said he is tripping out on Carnival of Carnage being 30 years old. Jay talking about getting older and the concept of time changing. Jay said it's crazy to think that hip-hop became a thing in their lifetime. Talked about when they were in school, they were the only ones that liked rap music. So Jay's subject, he saw a video called 10 Most Evil Wrestlers. I saw this video, by the way. Jay said oh, what the hell? I wrote that weird. Jay said it was full of stuff that he had never heard about before. But from wrestlers he had never heard about, and I agree. I was very surprised at this video. Go look up the 10 Most Evil Wrestlers video on YouTube. It's a great video. They talk immediately about spoiler, the number one, which is a lady luchador who killed the elderly in Mexico. Really fucking weird. Serial killer. Really dark story. I had never heard about this girl. And they don't talk about Chris Benoit in this video, which you would think. You would think they would hit on certain things that they don't hit on, and they hit on some things you've never heard before. Really good video. If you're a wrestling fan and you like this weird, dark side of wrestling shit that I think a lot of us are oddly fascinated with for whatever reason, go check out that video, the 10 Most Evil Wrestlers. I guess that was the thing that Jay wanted to tell Shaggy, not anything super groundbreaking. But the Jay birthday show, April 28th, Milwaukee at the Rave. Tickets are on sale now. Ouija Macc and Esham are on the show. JCW will be earlier in the day, apparently. And then they played the third part of Old School Heat. It immediately gets silenced, unfortunately, because of Southwest Voodoo. I think whoever owns Island, I don't know if Island still owns it, the Great Malenko ain't fucking around with these copyright strikes, because that's Pass Me By and Southwest Voodoo that got silenced on this stream. The audio comes back at 12 minutes and 7 seconds into the subscriber-only portion of this stream if you would like to just skip to where the audio comes back. Okay. God damn it. Get rid of that motherfucker. Emily! Do this boy myself. Alright, we blocked that. Naked HD. The old lady killer in Mexico. Facts. Yep. Whoop whoop. Love you, Christina. Thank you for tuning in. You have the same last name as Michael? Are y'all an item? Augmented Orb Splitter. I see you. I went to a clown show in South Carolina and it was everywhere, man. I was like, what the fuck? Hey, yo, South Carolina. There's a reason we moved the fuck out of South Carolina. It's fucked up down there. Oh hell yeah. Well, I'm glad I got the whole fam tuned in for this shit. All right, without further ado, though, I'm going to wrap up this stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys and gals for tuning in. I love you. Whoop, whoop. I might be back later to do the Neden Game. Oh, Camp Glitterdick. Oh, fucking shouts out to Camp Glitterdick. That's fucking fresh. What's going on in here, Scarecrow? I don't know. I'm wrapping up the stream. You're going to have to rewatch the shit or some shit, bruh. Anyway, whoop, whoop. I might be back later for the Neden Game wrap up. That was a fucking awesome stream. I have some things I'd like to say about that, and I can maybe really stretch out with you guys for a little bit. Maybe do a late night stream or something. So you might see me later. Or not. I don't know. That's the nature of the Humble Among broadcast system. I don't know what to tell you. I love you guys. April Fools. Coming on April Fools. Produced entirely by Shaggy the Airhead. Shouts out to Adam, who sent me the art last night / today. It's basically being finalized right now, the last little details of the art. That shit is fucking dope. Check out Humble Among Music on all streaming platforms. Yeah, thank you guys. I love you. Whoop whoop. Oh, we gotta do the gimmick. Gotta do the gimmick. Gotta do the gimmick. Gotta do the gimmick. Ooh, big. End broadcast.